But let's talk about some offensive line targets. Peter Jones on the 2024 OL commit list. Who else could join him, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's interesting. Joe Rudolph has been officially announced as offensive line coach, and he's hit the ground running. And there are 3 offensive line recruits already set to visit campus in the spring. Andrew Sprague is one of them. Sprague's not a big media guy. He started to kind of make the rounds here recently and confirm some visits with On3, Nebraska, Notre Dame, and USC being 3 of them. Talk about, a good range and variety of schools there. But Sprague is visiting, let me pull this up, April 1st. That's a good weekend for the Irish. It's a big one. All the weekends coming up, starting the 25th, are going to be pretty busy for the Fighting Irish. I don't think I've added them in there yet, Chris. But yeah, they're going to be coming up. You have Kevin Haywood is another offensive lineman. He's a little bit on the quieter side as well in terms of doing a lot of interviews, but he's visiting that April 1st weekend, March 31st. I believe he's getting to campus. You see the RPMs trending towards Penn State. I think most of the insiders log their predictions for the Nittany Lions to land him last fall, and as we all know, things can change pretty quickly in recruiting, and especially over several months. So I think Notre Dame has a good of a chance as anyone at this point to land him. Caleb Brewer is visiting Notre Dame in that same weekend. So you got Sprague, Brewer, Haywood all on campus same weekend. Haywood and Brewer both being from the state of Pennsylvania. Notre Dame, if Notre Dame lands, let's say their offensive line classes, Haywood, Brewer, Jones, you're talking about going into Penn State's backyard and beating them for 3 players in that state. Like that would be something. But yeah, it's going to be a big spring for Notre Dame on, in terms of offensive linemen. I know they have some 2025 offensive line recruits coming as well. Owen Strebig is one of them who the Fighting Irish really like. So yeah, that's not to mention guys like Style Prescott, who I believe is going to be visiting Notre Dame in April. Gerby Lambert from Massachusetts at some point is going to get to Notre Dame. He's been a target for the Irish for the past year. He got offered on Pot of Gold Day, which we'll talk about in a minute, this upcoming one. And it has been a huge target, but just hasn't really been to any colleges except for the local Boston College Eagles. Speaking of Lambert. So one offensive line recruit so far, Caleb Brewer, Peter Jones. I do like Notre Dame to land Brewer. I made that prediction even, when Notre Dame had that period with no offensive line coach, and Notre Dame sources that are just buzzing about that one. And then, between Styles Prescott, Gerby Lambert, Kevin Haywood, Andrew Sprague, and, there's other offensive line recruits the Irish are after as well. I think the O-line board's in a pretty good spot, and I would project them to take 3 to 4 guys.
It's going to be really interesting to see kind of what happens to this group now with Joe Rudolph officially announced at this position. We saw some offers right away after Heastan's retirement. But, I think this really could inject new energy, not just into the offensive line room at Notre Dame right now, but obviously, into the recruiting here as well.